Good morning, YouTube. It's your girl, Miss Honey. Welcome back to the channel, you guys. Today we're going to be talking about foolish wisdom. Our scripture comes from Corinthians, 1 Corinthians 1. Verses 19 through 20, and our morning version is the NIV version. Our evening version is the NLT version of the scripture. And I'm not going to tarry long with you guys this Sunday morning. I wanted to go ahead and bring this quick devotional to you, and I hope that it is profitable to your spirit and to your soul this morning. You can go on back to bed and meditate on this thing, and then when you put your feet on the floor, you can put some things into action, right? Okay, let's talk about it. 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verses 19 through 20 reads, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise, the intelligence of the intelligent I will frustrate. Where is the wise person? Where is the teacher of the law? Where is the philosopher of this age? Has not God made foolish the wisdom of the world? Says our culture today is one that values intelligence and an educated mind. Philosophers and the great thinkers are among the highly esteemed. It can be easy to get caught up or left behind, as it were, in debates of religion, politics, and philosophy. The problem with worldly wisdom is that it is self-generated. It exists in the context of a finite mind that cannot grasp the mysteries of God. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, my. The next time you feel yourself unable to answer the intellectual bully, ask yourself what the source of their wisdom is. Trust in the wisdom of Jesus. It is eternal and life-giving. And then our prayer for the morning is, God, I trust that you have given me wisdom in my life. Help me to remember to use your wisdom and not the wisdom of this world in every decision I make today. Ooh, that's a good prayer. That's a good prayer. And we need help with that too, because once you get done watching your MSNBC and your CNN and your Washington Post and all of these things, you'd be so beleaguered and confused and bewildered and weather beaten, and confounded, I tell you what. But we have to first say, Lord, what are you saying here? What's your words say about this? Okay, let's read our evening version of 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verses 19 through 20 reads, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise and discard the intelligence of the intelligent. So where does this leave the philosophers, the scholars, and the world's brilliant debaters? God has made the wisdom of this world look foolish. Says, when Jesus came into this world, whom did he upset the most? That's a question now. That's right, the scribes, the Pharisees, the most learned people of that time. He turned their ideas and their assumptions upside down and frustrated their intelligence. God's wisdom is for those who are humble enough to accept his ways. This is how he makes the foolish wise. If you are feeling foolish tonight, look to God for his wisdom and recognize just how smart you are in him. And then our prayer for the evening is, Lord, I am often challenged by all the various intelligences around me, and I am sometimes left thinking that I don't know anything. I pray that you would remind me that I have all the wisdom because I have you in my heart, guiding me in all the right ways, not all the world's ways. And then our question for today is, when you have been challenged to use God's wisdom instead of the world's wisdom, when have you been challenged to use God's wisdom instead of the world's wisdom this week? Listen, I know some people call it country dumb, that type of thing. But I am able to walk in both places, not to toot my own horn, but I consider myself to be well read, I know big words too. I know a little history, a little science, enough math to be dangerous, right? But I read, I stay abreast on current events and those types of things. And but listen, I try my best to use what I like to call common sense. And make no mistake, all sense ain't common. All right? Because I have found that in between the raindrops of common sense, okay, and just some good old-fashioned ABC logic, therein lies God's wisdom, right? Therein lies God's wisdom. Sometimes we can make things so hard by thinking about them so hard, And my father used to have a saying, keep it simple, stupid, right? I think it's a pretty popular saying. He didn't coin the phrase, but there's some truth in that. Sometimes we can make things so complex trying to impress others, when God's answer is quite simply, the answer to the quandary is quite simple, okay? And therein lies the wisdom. There is some simplicity in the wisdom, right? Yeah. You guys tell me what you think about this whole foolish wisdom topic for today. I've always found that when you're in circles where people seem to know a lot about a subject matter and very, very passionate about a subject matter, it's important to take a moment at that time not to speak, but to listen. Even if you're busy in yourself, you listen. And then you'll find that oftentimes the last person to speak and the most profound person to speak is the person that has been listening. And the person that uses a very common sense approach to the thought process. And therein, you guys, lies the wisdom, God's true wisdom. But y'all tell me what you think. Y'all go ahead and put it on down below. And until next time, honeybees, I'll holla.